guys, Mrwhosetheboss here, and this is my gameplay video of Borderlands the pre-sequel running on the Nvidia Shield tablet. So this is actually working on a 30 megabyte internet connection at a range of about 15 meters from the PC. So this is obviously using game stream, it's not being rendered by the tablet itself, but nonetheless this is still quite an impressive feat. In fact, I'd go as far to say that Nvidia Game Stream is the best streaming service that's currently available in the market. It's far better than the what Sony offers with their PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4, and yeah, it just works really quite seamlessly. The only downside I'd say is that the frame rate seems to flip between 30 and 60. However, I suppose this is a limitation of my internet connection, which is fairly strong but not exactly consistent. So if you actually play this game from the PC's display on my PC, it'll run a smooth 60 frames per second. Moving over to the Shield tablet, it'll actually play at a smooth 30 for most parts, which means that basically this is like playing on a console, but you get the upgraded graphics. And of course you're also using a Shield tablet controller, which again is very similar to the controllers on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. It's got really nice ergonomics and a good weight in the hand. So the actual colours on this are much more muted than those on my PC display. This is obviously a setting that Nvidia has done on purpose, not to oversaturate the colours. They could very easily change it, but they've made it so that the user has no control. So if I wanted to adjust the contrast, the saturation of the colours, I can't do that. So on my PC display this is looking really vivid, really lush, whereas on the tablet it's looking a little bit muted. So I kind of do wish they'd allow you to adjust the colour dynamics, but not a massive issue. Now I'm finding that controls actually work really well. In fact, I'd say it's easier to actually use the Shield controller than it is a mouse and keyboard. I think those are better suited to this game, and yeah, it's got some nice slight lock on, you know what I mean? Not to make it unfair, but just enough to make the joystick as accurate as the mouse. So I know some people say that a joystick will never be as accurate as a mouse, but it really does feel like you're in full control here. As for artifacting, there is literally zero. So when this streaming service began with the original Nvidia Shield Portable, it was looking a lot more like a buffering YouTube video instead of a much lower quality than you'd expect. However, consistent updates from Nvidia on both the software part and the hardware part with the upgrade from the portable to the tablet has obviously made a 1080p stream actually a viable option, and that is what this is, and that's really impressive because this looks like a natively playing game. There's not even a slight hint that this is not being rendered natively on the Shield tablet. Now as for the actual game itself, I have to say it feels more like a Borderlands 2.5 than a Borderlands 3. I mean, this is probably the intention of the developers, and obviously in part it's just to save a lot of effort. All these sort of loot boxes, all the enemies, they all feel like basically rehashed versions of ones from number 2. And yeah, even the engine being used is pretty much identical, which means that this is a good looking game, but it's by no means next gen. It's not going to compete with titles like Watch Dogs or, the next Battlefield or anything like that. But this is still, a nice looking game with cel shaded graphics and, some decent effects thrown in. It's got ambient occlusion, it's got depth of field, and yeah, it's pleasing to the eye. Anyway guys, thanks for watching.